Well, today we're going to be riding an RC8. I got a friend from my hometown here who bought this in 2011. He's put a few toys on it, but when I did the KTM demo days, he was the first guy saying, hey, you should pop over and ride my RC8. And who am I to argue, right? Look at this bike, just gorgeous, guys. It's got a Corbin seat on it. It's got the nice little bling for the brake reservoirs, clutch. It's got the plate package on it. And not to be outdone, we're running a full Arkapovic exhaust system. What do you think, Joe? You think maybe I should take this bike and you can take my old Kawasaki back here?
I think so.
All right, let's take it for a ride, guys. Roll the music. Alright guys, the mighty RC8. Got my buddy over here with me, Joe. And I turned off the kill switch. Nice way to start the day, eh? Whew! She might be louder than mine. As a matter of fact, I know for a fact it's louder than mine. Whew, I like the sound of that. Alright, she's a little choppy on the throttle. Brakes are super responsive, guys. This is a track day bike. It's a lot of fun though. It's a lot of fun so far. Oh, it's a nice cornering bike too. Alright. Wow, does this thing corner nice, guys. Woo! This is beauty. Super responsive. Alright. So guys, we get to ride the mighty RC8 today. Gotta thank Joe for that. This is pretty cool, guys. What low end torque. That exhaust is crazy and it's so flickable. It feels like a super sport, man. I'm not kidding you. This thing feels like a super sport. This is awesome. I want one. And it's actually pretty comfortable. Like really comfortable. Suspension set up just right. It took me a while to set up my Ninja. This thing is set up to go. Yes, sir. We'll wait for Joe up at the lights, eh, guys? I hope my camera's adjusted good enough for you guys. You know what? I'm gonna try to twist it back here for you a bit, guys. Up at the lights. That might be a bit better. How's the camera? Is my camera straight out? Well guys, the first thing you're going to notice when you step on the mighty RC8 is that it is throttle response like crazy. And this is 2011, where they actually smarten this bad boy up a little bit. So yeah, it actually has been tuned properly now so that you're not yerking and jerking, so to speak. Yerking and jerking, and you still are. Like when you're used to something like my Ninja, going through the corners and throttle on off in second gear, it's almost like I could pull it down into third and keep going, because it is sensitive, but it's got nice power. It's what I like about these leader bikes, is there's power everywhere. Well, let's see what she does here, guys. What do you think of this layout here, guys? It's pretty fancy, isn't it? So like I was saying, in 2011, this was the year that they put in a heavier flywheel, so that the mighty RC8 wouldn't buck you off through the corners. And it is quite a bit smoother than what that used to be. When I drove the 1290 Super Duke, I have to say it was a little bit easier on the throttle response. It wasn't as jerky, and I thought that one was quite a little bit on the less control than mine had. But you gotta understand the amount of torque and horsepower these things are making. That's why they're like that. What I really like about the RC8 is it's fully adjustable. Like, you can adjust your handlebars, brake levers, you can adjust all the foot pegs down below, little seat height adjustments you can do to it. Everything is designed to make this bike fit for just about anybody. These are all the little tweaks and everything that you can get on your racing bikes, but it comes out of the can like that. And you're dealing with racing, fully adjustable suspension. You know, everything is top of the line. Like they say, ready to race. Lately, it seems that KTM has also made a big concerted effort in trying to make these bikes accessible, which means you can actually go to quite a few dealerships and get them serviced, which is very nice, because before that just wasn't happening. You had to wait for parts to come in forever, and it was a real pain. But that's all changed now. I find that this bike is as comfortable as any sport bike on the market. I think from everything I've ridden before, this is the most comfortable sport bike I've ever ridden. And I'm talking about a full 1000 and up cc sport bike, a bike made for racing. This bike does it. It's very, very comfortable, really nicely laid out. It would fit a tall rider or a short rider. Gorgeous layout. Ergonomics are fantastic. Now obviously it's not my Ninja 1000 level of comfort, which has the upright bars in it and the foot pegs are more down and under me. But if you're looking at this review, you ain't looking to buy a Ninja 1000, guys. You're wanting that extra 50 horsepower. You're wanting that cramped up riding style, and you want to take it out for a track day, because that's what this baby was made to do. And at $19,000, it should be what you got to do on this bike, right? Let's tuck down a little bit. What do you think of that, guys? Hey, I'm gonna lose my camera and the microphone. I hope the sound is okay for you guys, but the microphone is jammed right into my head. Because freeways with your GoPro mounted on the side of your head, well, my Wasp Action Cam in this case, are a real pain in the butt. It really pulls your head sideways. I really got to get a front mount for these bad boys. There's Mighty Joe
on the mighty Kawasaki. I've got straight pipes on that thing. Now I do have a catalytic converter on my bike, but he's a lot taller than I am, eh? I like looking at tall guys on little bikes. Actually, that's not a little bike. That's just a tall guy. Hilarious. This is a ticket waiting to happen bike. That's what this is. Woo-wee! Hey, this is kind of cool too. Joe actually rides his bike. He's got 10,500 kilometers on this thing since he bought it. That's pretty cool. I like to see guys riding their bikes. Not that you have to. Some of us just don't have the time. But it's cool to see a guy who does. He only beat me because he dropped the gear on me. Alright, side to side. Look at how light that thing is, guys. It feels like a tall bike, though. Like, it feels really tall. It's not. I don't think it's any taller than my Ninja, but it sure feels like skinny and tall. You know what I'm saying? Well, here's my riding impressions, guys, before we sit down and have a coffee. I love this bike. If I had $19,000 sitting around, which I definitely do not. I am on the cheaper end of the spectrum that way. If I was to buy a sport bike, like a leader bike, this is what I'd buy. And here's my reason. So, I would be lucky to get this out on a track once every 5 years. There's nothing around here. And this thing is pretty fun to ride around in town. It's really easy to turn. It doesn't have that heavy feeling. It just cuts right in. Maybe a little less stable because of how jerky the throttle is. I think it's jerkier than some of the ones I've experienced before. But man, that's what I like. Like, I'm used to riding dual sports, supermotos, and my Ninja with the upright and the wide handlebars. And this bike's a winner for me, guys. I'd buy this in a heartbeat. And again, it's because of that V-twin power, no low spots. And the fact that it's a unique and great looking bike. It doesn't look like anything else out there. In my opinion, this and the Super Panigale are the two hottest looking bikes out there. So if you can afford them and you want an endorsement, okay, you got my endorsement already.
So yeah, you must have noticed a big difference when you went on, finally after tooling around Lloydminster, and then you finally get to ride it out on the BC highways. That must have been really nice, eh?
Oh yeah, there's a couple of corners in town. Once the tires are warm, you can take them pretty quick, but the BC highways, you got the long sweeping corners, eh?
Worst part I find, I get into town and you're familiar with the corners, like the little area we went through. And sure enough, right after it's a rainstorm, and for some reason it collects a whole bunch. You're halfway through the corner.
You see those pebbles there, yeah.
Yeah. That thing, it handles like razor sharp. Like, it's really quick. Like, better than a 600cc street bike.
And for how tall it is, like, I'm 6'2", and when I'm sitting at a red light, both feet are flat on the ground, the bike's pushing back up on me.
Yeah.
Like, there's no gap. I can't toss it around between my legs.
Yeah.
And I don't know, the seat height right now is probably like 32 or just over, I'd imagine.
Yeah, I think if I bought one, it'd be coming down a little bit. But it wasn't uncomfortable at the stoplight.
For how tall it is, I'm amazed at how well it corners. Like, anybody that jumps on it, they say they love it.
Yeah. But twins are famous for that.
And it's only got a 16-liter fuel tank, I think it is. But it's 55 miles a gallon doing 120k.
Yeah. Oh, I noticed there's a big jump from second to third, eh?
Yeah.
Like,
figuring.
Yeah, like all of a sudden, like if you try to go in second, you come through the corner in town, you go into third, and you're like, oh, that's a little too tall. It wants you to race by then, eh?
Yeah.
Like, it's set up for a track more than in town a little bit that way.
I'm single, so
Yeah. Well, you probably wouldn't have half of that if you weren't. So that's good on you.
if I had,
Well,
I still had it. Still, you wouldn't be using it as much, right?
That's right.
Yeah.
And the trick is to have it now before you meet somebody, right?
Yeah, have it now, enjoy it.
When I first
meet
got
somebody.
married, I had to buy like Xboxes, PlayStations, motorbikes, all that I wanted, because I knew once the kids came, not so much. What do you get like out of range with that tank? Do you get like 300k or 200 or?
I've never pushed it that hard or that far, but 200 kilometers, no problem. Most of the time, 200 kilometers, I'm putting in about 12 liters, 11 liters of fuel.
Oh, you should be getting close then.
And so theoretically, it should be able to do 300 kilometers to a tank.
Thanks for letting me ride your bike there, Joe.
No problem.
All right.
Yeah.
Okay, guys, thanks for watching. This is 6IOD. Bye-bye.